Here in the UK, there is one dominant app that most drone flyers will have on their phone or tablet. The Drone Assist app can help you plan your flight by checking for airspace restrictions, ground hazards, and more. It is a useful tool, but for many years, it has actually sat without update or a much needed refresh. This is set to change. The company who originally built the app, Altitude Angel, took control of the app last year and have been working hard to improve Drone Assist across the board. Recently, the Geeksvana team visited the Altitude Angel HQ to bring you an exclusive look at the upcoming refreshed app. Let's jump into it now. Whilst the demonstration's happening though, let us know in the comments below what you think of the changes and also what else you think Drone Assist needs. We're here today with Neil, who is one of the geniuses behind the Drone Assist app. Obviously, there's a bright future ahead for Altitude Angel, and Drone Assist, etc., is going to be an important part there. And I understand you've actually been making some improvements.
We have, yeah. So we decided that Drone Assist needed a bit of an update. So we engaged a whole set of pilots, from hobbyists to novices up to commercial pilots with thousands of hours. And we took them through our current Drone Assist app. We set them a bunch of tasks and didn't give them any help.
Excellent.
We recorded what they did to see where they got stuck, anything they didn't like, anything they did like, any new features they might suggest. So we built all of that, we did all of those studies, and that's the information that we've used to design the new one.
Very exciting, because of course we had a period there where this app was originally developed for NATs, and there was a period, of course, where Altitude Angel, everyone was screaming out, why don't they update this app?
Sure.
But of course, because it was NAT's app, and you know, there was no updates happening through there. Of course, it meant that even if you guys wanted to at that stage, you couldn't update the app. But now it's fully back under your control.
It is indeed.
So you've been playing with it, which is very exciting news.
We have. It also gives the advantage that it's now a native app, so there's a distinct Apple version, there's a distinct Android version.
That's fantastic.
Which allows us to use some of the functionality in the phones themselves, some of the accessibility stuff, sort of some of the language stuff that we can't do at the moment. So it really takes us forward. Also, security stuff like biometrics you can do, which we can't do in the current app.
Oh, that's absolutely superb. Yes, and it will hopefully leap it forward, because I actually think even the existing Drone Assist app, if you bear in mind how long ago that was coded, how long ago that was built, it still does a pretty good job. It still tells you if you can fly or not, basically, which is obviously what most of my audience, in particular the hobby side of things, is really concerned about. So I understand you're going to talk us through some of the changes.
Yep, so I'm going to give you a bit of a taster of some of the features that we're going to have.
Exciting.
So one of the first things, there's some basic features in there that the audience was screaming out for. We've got some better weather services, for one.
Okay.
Which is in the original app, but we discovered that people have trouble finding them.
Is it?
It is.
Well, there you go. There's me calling myself a Drone Assist expert almost. And I had no idea. I had no idea the weather services were in the existing app. But that's fantastic, because it's literally just clicking one button and it's jumping up at the bottom there.
Exactly. And you can run it an hour ahead, and it will locate it anywhere you search to, anywhere your phone is. Or another basic feature that everyone was screaming out for is the ability to change your map details. So satellite maps.
Oh wow!
It was a huge thing for quite a little thing. It was a lot of the feedback we got.
Yeah, I'm smiling as I say that, because actually that's quite a big thing to make happen, isn't it? So sure. This obviously gives you the advantage that you're going to be able to dial down in terms of the satellite images, and actually it's going to give you more of a feel of where you're flying from, etc., rather than just this green map with a red circle, basically.
Exactly. We've got some really interesting use cases from when we did the studies, sort of some search and rescue teams that use different map styles for different sort of, using a satellite map to see thick undergrowth that you can't get on a sort of OpenStreetMap kind of map. And so we got some really nice use cases out of that. We've also overhauled the filter system a little bit. To upper airspace, regulated airspace, lower and upper, sorry. So lower is basically your drone area for your conventional drone flight, essentially. We've got a bit about UAS airspaces, so that's anywhere we're deployed. And then you've got the standard things that we have now. So temporary airspaces, no TAMs, as you said earlier, ground hazards, etc.
Drone Assist is just the right side for me from the point of view of people who are new to the industry, either as commercial or hobbyists. it's just the right side of the knowledge you have to get the information that you need. But this actually does help things, because it's going to be what you're searching for is going to be very, very specific.
Advanced filters gives a commercial controller, for example, the ability to really sort of dial down exactly what they want.
Brilliant.
And it will remember their settings.
Oh, excellent.
And then we've enhanced the search, so just make it a little bit more useful. The one in the current app's a bit basic. So
yes. Excellent.
So that's basically the map as it exists now. So the two major additions to this are we've added the concept of a profile section, which we just don't have now.
Brilliant.
And so profile and planning are interlinked. So you have your user details, where you can store all of your data, all of your pilot details. So that's got stuff like your licenses, etc., etc.
Superb.
And the app will give you the ability, obviously, when you need to go somewhere with an approval, you can choose to share that. You can also, if you're in a place that doesn't need any approval, you don't have to share that information. And one major large feature, which is a big thing, is the ability to add aircraft.
Excellent. That's good. This kind of reminds me when I had a little play with the Gatwick UTM trial, and so I had to sort of sign into the Guardian and create a profile there, which is very similar, isn't it? Where you can actually input all of your data, you can input all of your separate aircraft. And I found that, and actually when I was playing with that to get the digital permission to fly at Gatwick, it's actually one of the things I thought that would be really good to have on Drone Assist, because then, of course, you're able to store the aircraft and select which one you're flying that day.
Exactly.
Select the pilot who's going to be flying for you that day, whether it's you as a hobbyist or if you're commercial, the operators that are available to you. But it's already going to have their qualifications. And so already the data that you're going to be sharing out there is, if you want to share that data, is so much more detailed, basically.
Yeah, it's a much more enhanced system. So when you get into sort of authorities, as the ecosystem evolves and there's more places you need authority, sort of land usage and air usage, the system, the back-end system that runs this is much more advanced. So it'll be a lot easier for the pilot to be given. And it will respond in kind as well. So if there's bits of information, the sort of approval will be able to ask you for those bits of information, and you can supply them through the app and it will just update.
Excellent.
It'll just make your whole authority in it so much easier.
Exactly, which is superb.
So there's a fly now function which sets... is designed for that sort of hobbyist or sort of or user that just, you're going to a field, you literally want to put a plan in. It will give you a set radius, a set height, a set schedule. I think it's half an hour. You can change all those settings, but Excellent. It is literally 3 clicks and you can put a flight plan in.
Superb.
Or you can do the more advanced planning and create a flight plan. This is what we're talking about. So you've got location with some more advanced tools. You can now upload a GeoJSON file.
Wow.
From your system.
Superb.
It won't accept just anything. It'll only accept valid sort of GeoJSON for flight plans, so it won't do anything weird.
Yes, that's good.
And then I said, so that just links into your aircraft. So that screen I showed you earlier was where you add them. You can also add them in here if you want to, and you can just select
which one's flying.
Yeah.
It looks very intuitive from the point of view that you're going to be able to do just a quick flight or actually be very precise about the flight as well.
Exactly.
Very cool.
A little bit of enhanced scheduling. So our system at the moment is a little bit basic, works really, really well, but just a bit of an enhanced tooling on the scheduling system.
Excellent.
And pilot just brings back up your pilot details. So these check to show you that you've done each bit.
Brilliant.
Pilot, as I said earlier, you can share your pilot details if you want to. You don't have to. Obviously, if you're in a few approval zone, you will have to.
So really, we've got an app now as when this launches, where you're still going to be able to use the Drone Assist as you know and love it now.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot more intuitive. You're going to have the satellite feed, everything else like that. Exactly. Very quick way to share a flight, etc., to show that your flight's live. But there's also going to be the more detailed planning side of things as well. So you're going to be able to go as deep as you want with it, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, if it's a commercial flight, and if it's as you were saying before, if permission's required and that type of thing. That's excellent. So it's not going to be suddenly this big, daunting, scary thing that existing users will say, hang on, I don't want to go through all those steps. I'm just going to stop using it.
Exactly.
It's the same Drone Assist, but better, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And those users I mentioned at the start that we tested Drone Assist on. So they've been kind enough to engage with us as we've been building and designing this. So each section we've built, the profile and the planning section, we've gone back to them and we've let them play with it, set those same tasks that not helped, and go and sort of done the same. Do they get stuck? What they like, what they don't like? If there's anything missing, is there any language that doesn't make any sense, or is a bit, as you know, sort of airspace terminology can be a little bit impenetrable. Indeed. So we try to keep it sort of keep it educational, but and informative, but sort of simplify it where we can. What we're planning is we will launch it. We'll launch it as is, but there will be regular, as you would expect from a modern app. There'll be regular sort of feature updates, new toys to play with,
very exciting,
new useful functions, new map, as you said. When we address the map and sort of the overlays and stuff like that, we'll take a serious look into accessibility, colour blindness. We do our best with it now, but we can definitely take that journey further.
Brilliant, excellent. Okay, and that's I smiled when you were talking at the beginning there, because you're talking about future updates, which of course we're not used to with Drone Assist at the moment. Having the app constantly updated is going to be absolutely fantastic, frankly. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you again on Geeksvana. Obviously, as you're the man that's making these changes, we look forward to lots of updates from you in the future.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you.
And you. Thanks,
Thank you very much.
Cheers. The refreshed app will be going through a test, trial and release program over the next few months, and Geeksvana will keep you fully informed of developments. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Oh, and YouTube thinks you're going to like this video next. Were they right? Sean out.